Hi, fellow traders. Well, I am glad this week is over. This has been a really crazy week. I don't know if, and it's been self inflicted. So it's not the market, even though the market is not behaving like we want it to. This is just typical summertime activity that we're seeing. But so it's all been self inflicted. I don't know if it's what I smoked last weekend in Vegas that's messed up my whole week. I don't know. But I'm ready for this weekend. I'm ready to, get the rest and try to get everything back on track. But before I talk about this week, I want to take a moment and to remember and honor all those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, in service to this nation. I know not all of us have immediate family members that we've lost in service, but if we go back far enough into our family tree, I'm sure you're gonna find several, and because this affects, everybody. A couple of years ago, I went back and was just trying to track down the soldiers that I was in basic training with, that I was in AIT with, that I'd never seen again, and we didn't really keep up with one another because, unless we ended up going to the same place, we just kind of lost contact. And I was amazed at how many of these guys that were lost, and it humbled me beyond belief. And so Memorial Day really took on a new meaning for me. And so, I encourage you guys that if you don't have, you can't identify anybody in your immediate family, go back and look in your family tree. And Memorial Day is going to take on a new meaning for you. So, these brave men and women, they paid a debt that we can't even begin to pay them back. And so, I know Monday is Memorial Day, but, I said earlier, I want to give them Memorial Day weekend, but honestly and truly, we should honor them every day, because every day we get up and we go do the things that we do, we're able to do it because of the sacrifices that they made. So, wanted to take a quick minute to honor and recognize them before we get started. All right, so let's take a look at our crazy day. HIBB. This was a stock that I should have never touched. Okay, never, because this had a higher float. I mean, not a higher float, a lower float. See, I'm still confused. This had a little bit lower float. This would have been one that I put on my under 20 watch, or not under 20 watch, but on the lower price, level. We didn't really have any in the under 20 deal, and you know, it had less than a 20 million share float. So there's no way I should have done this. No way, no reason. And I didn't even think about it until after it was too late. And number two, I went in too heavy. I just saw dollar signs. Is what I saw, and it just did not work out. So here's the opening candle here. Now the wick is longer than the body, so I'm going to use the wick as my entry. I didn't have the greatest of entries. I'm guessing if I had entered when I was supposed to, maybe I would have been able to take profit. It never really hit up here. So even if I got in here, my profit target, first target would have been this high here. If it started to have issues up here, I would have taken it off. Ideally, this would have been my first target, this 24.90. But I'm always going to have in my mind, if it's running into something like this, and I see the reaction, take some off. But, we started up, we started to work, and then this thing came slamming back down, and it blew me up. I should have had, and even if I had my stop, this thing might have still blew me up a little bit. But it went past twice where I was going to stop out at. That's just how fast this thing washed out. And you could see eventually it turned around and came back. But there's no way in the world that you need to hold through this. No way. Even you could sit here now, and like we were talking about yesterday, I can come up with, here's the 5-minute opening range low. This could be support. Here's the 20 all the way down here. I could find support all the way down until I just blow my account up. But that's not what you do. When you have your stop, you got to take it off. It blew past. I had to take it off. This was, like I said, you got a lower float stop that's a little lower priced, easy to manipulate. So, cut your losses and run. So I took this off and never looked back. You can see 298.30. It just blew past. And, all I could do was react at that point. So that was that on HIBB. And then FL, this was actually a good look. So I have no reservations about having taken this trade. You see we sold off down through here. This is a 52-week low. So, I didn't trade the open on this, but it bounced. You can see it started selling off hard between 9 and 9:30. So I'm not going to trade it at the open. I'm going to wait for a bounce and look for a secondary move on it. And that's what I thought we had. Now, notice was on short sale restriction. Once it broke through, I had to put my order, above the bid. And, I did. It came back and hit me. And everything looked like we were going to eventually sell off. It started working. But if you guys were watching with us in the chat room, there was like so much support. It was just unreal how much support was just getting thrown at us. There was a huge order at 43.90 that anytime it came close, this thing just got, slammed back up. And here we had this huge candle. It ran up real quick and it came back. It didn't stay up very long. It just went up and took out some orders and came back. So once it did that, I thought, hey, we may be in good shape. We've kind of weathered the storm. Then this candle printed and it made a lower high, but it rejected at the 52-week low. So I'm like, yeah, we might be in good shape here. But no, whoever the hell was sitting down here at 43.90 would not let this thing go. And so after it made a flash down to 90 and then it just started to ramp up, I took it off. I wasn't going to let it go up and stop me out, which it would have done. And it never really worked. This did dip down to, 43.50 or so. But the trade never did work. I was looking for it to come back down toward 43 and test this again. But it just never did. It traded like a stock on short sale restriction. And we just did not get anything out of this. So, another hit on that. But that's fine. I could walk away from it. But the big trade, now this is outrageous here. We nailed this. Here's a 5-minute opening range low. I couldn't go off the body on this because the body and the wick's pretty much the same size. So I waited until we got down, was going to crack through this level, because you can see here pre-market, this held as support. This made a quick move down. So I was able to catch it. You know, it wasn't that bad of an entry. It wasn't exactly where I wanted it. But based on the way this stock was moving, you know, I thought it was a good shot. So I got in, hit my first target, and we just started piecing out. Here was the final target down here. But we caught some support here and bounced. Ended up taking it off on a profit stop here. And look to, you know, get back in. You know, once we got that rejection, back under this level here. So we got in, worked down, was able to cover some here, covered some here. Now, here's where I screwed up. I was at lunch, okay? And I'm sitting in the drive-through line, and I'm like, I took some off here, and I'm like, this thing looks like it's gonna wash. The problem is I had my order in for the rest of this position right at 117.90, I think. And I made a mistake by opening the laptop, sitting in the drive-through, looking at this, and I'm like, damn, this thing looks like it might be bouncing. So let me take a piece off now. And I took a piece off. And I went to put in my next, you know, where I wanted my next piece to be. And evidently I never took off the order. I thought I did. I didn't see it. I thought I canceled it. The order I had here at 117, where was it? At 117.95. I thought I had taken this thing off. And it turned around and put me long right here. So I had to go ahead and take it off. After I did that, I went ahead and took it off because this was definitely not something that was going to bounce. And here's where I did something really stupid. I shorted under this without a retest. Always, when you're waiting for a significant level to break, and this is a 200 moving average here, anytime you're looking to break this, you need to wait for it to retest, and then I would look to have a nice move down. So, you know, I ended up getting stopped out on this. And, you know, we rejected the 20 here, came back. You know, this never triggered an entry. No, never did. So, you know, but when I got stopped out, I got mad. And that was that. I don't know what the hell I did. I don't know if I left my stop order out when I closed this, but somehow I got long. It covered my short position, and I got long. And I had no idea. None whatsoever. I mean, I was mad. I slammed my laptop closed. I was done. I mean, I was just done for the day. And I went to the car wash. You know, I just pretty much said, you know, at 2 o'clock I was done. You know, I went to get my car washed, and I was sitting there, and it looked like it'd be about an hour to get it done, which would put me right in time to go pick my son up and everything. So I said, well, let me sit down and start doing the reflection on these things. I log in, and I'm in a damn position. So, of course, I immediately look in. I started to close the whole thing, but I took half off. And I'm like, well, here, the VWAP is up here. So we can take some through VWAP. And the final target would be the 100, because I doubt very seriously if it'll push through the 100. So right off the fly, I had to do this. But I had no idea, because if I knew I was in this thing, I would have been stopped out of this. This thing came all the way down and stopped me out. So, one thing I need to get a grip on sometimes is me getting mad when things don't work out. When I have a slow week, and I think everybody has these issues. When you have a slow week, or you've got all of these red trades in a row, and you just want so bad to have a winning trade that you may enter the trade a little too early. You may not wait for the thing to set up the way it's supposed to set up, and you try to squeeze that entry in. That's something that we do, and sometimes we do it without thinking about it, and it can cost us. And so, here's something that I could have blown myself up. This thing could have kept going short. It could have kept going down, down, down. I could have lost $1,000, $1,500 real easy. Just because of my attitude. So these are the type things that will come along and humble us, and scare us to death, and always make us not do the same things over and over again. I've done this before. I've just taken my position off and slammed the computer shut and walked away and forgot to take my stop off. I've done that before. Or I've accidentally covered more than I had and ended up being long, which is kind of what happened over here. And I had to end up taking it off. So, that's just something that I let the market get the best of me today. I let it affect my attitude, my mindset, and I was smart to just shut it down when I felt it. That was a smart thing to do, but I should have made sure that everything was clear. Without just acting in haste, slamming it, and walking away. So that was it for today. Only 36.40. Nothing to write home about. But I don't have a red week. I've had enough of them in April. So don't have a red week. I feel pretty good about going into next week. I've got a list of stuff to write down, a checklist that I'm going to use to make sure that I stay on track. Professional traders have their system of checks and balances, so there's no reason why, I should have one. You never outgrow stuff like that. I don't care how good you get. There are things that's going to affect you. And you have to be aware of it, know, and have things that you can do to help combat that. So let's take a look at what we have. Oh, okay. I forgot about this. We had all of this good news come out on BA. So I went ahead and took it off. My target, the stop was going to be just over 360 anyway. So I went ahead and killed it today. I mean, I've had this trade on since the beginning of April. So, we made a higher low here on this pullback. And, I just felt it was time today that it was time to take it off. That we were probably going to start to make a move back up. These big guys aren't going to let this go. So I don't know exactly how much I locked up. I made a pretty good penny on this over the course of this last month. But I'll know tomorrow once everything settles what we got. But very happy with that. Now Disney is still sucking pretty bad. The AOS trade I took this week is back neutral, so and we'll see what happens with that next week. The market really killed that trade this week. The market killed DIS this week. So we'll see if the market's going to recover and start to make that move back up. But definitely need that market to go in the right direction for these swings. And like I said, the summertime's coming. I'm going to put more emphasis on swings. It's going to take a longer time for a stock to get to where I would want it to get to in order to take profit. So just have to be a little patient and deal with the market swings and sometimes sideways action. All right, so I am going to have a Memorial Day sale pretty much like I had last year. Depending on what you go with, you get up to $250 off. I think the enhanced mentoring program, you get $250 off it. The regular yearly subscription, you get $150 off. The quarterly, you get $50 off. And I'll offer this weekend the Roadmap to Success special that I had before. That's already deeply discounted because you get 6 hours of mentoring time, and it's a 6-month deal. So that's already deeply discounted. So all of these will be good. Offered up until midnight on Monday. So it should be up this evening, and we'll run through the weekend. So, of course, I'll remind you guys probably on Sunday. All right, so this week, very, 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 very bad week for me. Monday was travel day. Tuesday, I was still dealing with some jet lag. On Wednesday, I just traded like crap. Thursday was a good day. Today, if I had not traded HIBB, this would have been a totally different day for me. Totally different day. No reason I shouldn't have had anywhere from $400 to $600 today. But it was me. That's all I can say. It was me. All right, Monday is Memorial Day. We will be back at it on Tuesday. Now, we'll have my Sunday watch list session / market analysis. We'll talk about the swing trades, what we're looking for next week, and all of that good stuff. So I'm still doing that on Sunday, but then we'll be back at it on Tuesday, ready to get this finished out this year. This month. And I'm ready to finish the year already. Jeez. But 444.79 this week. But that puts us at 3313.67 for the month. $3,000 for the month is nothing to sneeze at. When you're trading and you're trying to grow your account, nothing to sneeze at. Look at where we are. We're finishing up May, and I'm about $4,000 away from the $25,000 goal for the first, half of the year. That I wanted to get that 25 in, so that I won't have as much stress on me going forward, especially through the summer months. So really, really close to this 25, but I'm so happy we sneaked over 20,000. So I'm pretty happy with where we are in this. Even though we have bad weeks, we have bad days, what I want you guys to see and understand It's all about your equity curve. This is the money that you're putting in your account. And you don't take it out and spend it. You pull it out. Okay? No way in hell I'm leaving, a ton of money in an offshore broker. No way. You wire out every month. Once I get to a certain amount, I'm wiring it out. So once you have enough money safe in your account here in the US, then you don't worry so much. And that takes some of the stress off of you as well. But remember, the focus is on our equity curve. This is telling us if we're adding money to our account. If we're going down, that means we're losing money. Money's coming out of our account, and we need to fix that quick. But as long as we're going up, even if we're going up slightly, doesn't matter. Even these slight movements are, we're adding money to our account. So I added less than $500 this week, but hey, I'm still going in the right direction. I'm still building my account. So that's number one. And that's what I want you guys to focus on. Now, the beginning of June, that'll be the first week that I'll be focusing on helping you guys that have like $500 to $1,500 that you're trading. There is a different way you have to trade, a different mindset. Every step you get to, your mindset's going to change a little bit. As long as you're in the account growing mode, your mind is going to be set on putting money in your account and not letting it come out. Taking the money from the market, you don't want to give it back. So when you're really small, you have to have realistic expectations. And having a $500-$600 account and thinking you're going to make $200-$300 a day on average is unrealistic expectations. The stocks that you have to trade, a lot of them are on margin restriction. Some you don't want to touch because the float is so low and they're so volatile. Those are going to be the ones on margin restriction anyway. A lot of them you won't have shares to short. So it takes a lot of patience in making sure you have the right stocks to trade. Working with this member that I've worked with for the last 3 weeks, I've come to the realization that there's some things that I didn't go through that I didn't really think about. That when you're trading that small, you're going to have to deal with and you're going to have to work through. So we're going to be focusing on that coming in June. I just got to play with this software a little bit to see if I can get it to work right. And the classes are going to start to look different. It's going to be more interactive. I'll be more in my element, in a classroom type element. So I think that's going to be better too. I think that's going to enhance the classes, as well. So a lot of stuff is going to be running around the corner. I will be recording the morning session every day and posting it, so you members, if you miss it, you can watch it. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn it on today. So I got a note here on my monitor to remind me to record. And you guys in chat, you can remind me too before the market opens to hit record. So, today would have been another funny day like yesterday. Let's laugh at Ed type thing. But that's not the reason why I want to record it. I want you guys to be able to see what unfolded that morning. A lot of times there are really good lessons in the trades because not every trade is the same. Each trade is a little different, and things that we can learn from every trade that we take. All right, so that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, the swing trade newsletter is you're gonna start getting that. It's gonna come in email form first, and once my daughter gets all her finishing touches on it, then it'll come as an attachment, a newsletter attachment. So you guys keep a lookout for that on Sunday, Sunday evenings as well. All right, so that's gonna do it for me. If you don't hear from me until Tuesday, everybody enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this Memorial Day weekend. Remember and honor these guys that have, given their life so that we can get up and do the things that we do every day. And I will see you guys first thing on Tuesday morning.